when you're lonely.
Make you feel like you're the one. Arms around you when you're lonely. Make you feel like you're the one.
How's it going, Akuma? Welcome to the stream.
Arms around you when you're lonely. Make you feel like you're the one.
How's it going there, Lenny? Welcome to the stream. We're going to get started here in a few moments, just playing some nice morning tunes here on Monday. Working out some camera bugs right now, but we'll be starting here in a couple minutes. What is going on, guys? It is Monday. I was running up. I was really not digging the daylight savings hour, but I decided just to use it and try to change up my morning schedule a little bit. I figure, we got to go all in if we're switching the clocks back, but regardless, it is the morning here on the East Coast, Atlanta. Coming at you live from the virtual reality wire. I hope you all are having a fantastic morning. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. We're just going to be playing some music here. I got some coffee. It's a good day. You can also jump in the Discord if you'd like to hop on a call and maybe chat for a couple minutes here. But hey, we got Japanese East Coast coming up first. Japanese East Coast, playing some chill tunes this morning. Folks, how's your morning going? What time zone are you in? I, of course, am in the digital virtual reality wire, so there's really no perception of time here. I'm sitting on a roof in the morning. Of course, my physical body is located in the East Coast, Atlanta. But hey, hope you guys are having a good time. Next up, we got World Star coming at you live. So we got a good spread here. 3:55, 9:25 a.m., 3 p.m., 12:35 a.m. in Australia. Very cool, man. Very cool. Spreed Oz, you truly are a night owl. Folks, don't forget you can jump in the Discord and I'll unmute you if you jump in the channel. We can chat for a minute or two. Taking your calls this morning. star, Hip Hop Beat Nation, bringing you the best royalty-free chill hop music on the internet. Hey, 02, you're live. What would you like to say? You can go ahead and unmute yourself. I gave you the permission to speak, if you'd like to. Oh, doesn't look like he's here. No problem. Coconut, my good friend Coconut, you're live on the air. Oh, there we go. Give me 1 second, I can't hear you. Working out the kinks here, folks. Okay, Coconut, can you hear me?
I can.
I can hear you too. Cool. What's going on, man?
Alright. Go. So, yeah, I came across this group of VR gamers that claim they lobby towards Pancake developers to integrate their game into virtual reality. However, the way that they lobby, it's not so much lobbying. However, it's more of a brigading. What they do is they all collectively vote on a target, and then they go into the Steam forums of that game, and they all make posts saying VR win, VR, VR, I'm interested in buying VR version, no VR, no buy, stuff like that.
So they go in like sort of indie game developer forums or like AAA game
Yeah.
forums? Ah.
And they just harass the developers into
Into VR.
formatting their
That's
game
a-
into VR.
That's a bold strategy. I don't know if
Yeah.
that would work.
And so I have been, I went in and into their server they've created, and
Mhm.
told them off about that. It just said, hey, if you want to actually lobby, what you gotta do, you gotta form a network of people who have integrated games into virtual reality or have worked with developers into doing so,
Mhm.
and you gotta show developers this is how you get your game into the virtual reality space. You don't yell at them, tell them, "Oh, get your game into virtual reality, or we won't buy it."
Yeah.
Yell at that.
Yeah. I feel like that
This
almost puts like a bad image in the eyes of developers, especially if they haven't tried VR before. It's like, oh, who are these
Yeah, exactly.
people?
That's what I told them. I said like, all you're doing is making the devs see, oh wow, this is a hostile lot of people. I don't want to cater towards them.
Yeah. Yeah. That's interesting. I did see the Dirt Rally developers, I believe. Either Dirt
Mhm.
Rally or Crew. They sort of posted on Steam and they were like, hey, would you guys like us to implement VR and why?
Mm.
And then you had, a bunch of people from the Steam forums actually like posting, legitimate reasons like, yes, this would be an amazing game in VR. And thankfully the, developers, they seemed sort of not sure about VR at first. And then now it seems they're implementing it for the next game. So I feel like
That's a
that's
fantastic way.
yeah.
That's a fantastic way for a developer to go about it. Of course, I'm not sure how they would have gotten the idea in the first place to ask the community about that.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it wasn't a group of people yelling at them.
Right. Angry, yeah. That's always the best way to get things done. Just
Yeah.
yell at each other. That's funny. Well, hey, thanks for calling in, Coconut. It's always good to chat with you, man.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you later, dude.
Mhm.
Fantastic times here on VR Radio. R60D, thanks for joining. Do I plan to do any other experiments? Yeah, we're starting one here very soon, so stay tuned, folks. Next up, we got Mystery Repeats by Moonlight Beats. Taking calls here in the Discord. You can click the link down below, join the channel, and I'll go ahead and unmute you. Folks, there are a few things better than a fresh brewed cup of coffee. I was one of those people that could never really taste the difference between different coffee brands. Cheap coffee, instant coffee, Starbucks, whatever it be. I had no difference. I had no taste bud differentiation between the different caffeine types. But folks, I will tell you, I got a new bag of coffee from my local Atlanta coffee shop, and I brewed it up this morning, and it is truly one of the most delectable experiences I have had. But hey, folks, you're listening to VR Radio here on Monday morning, taking your calls here in Discord, and we got Starchild. What ethnicity am I? Good question. I am what they call Oreo, black and white, mixed cup, chocolate milk, black and white cookie, yin and yang. Technically, I can only say half of it, so, yeah. Calls here in Discord. Prita asks, so if I join Discord, what is the topic? Very good question there. The topic is anything that comes into your mind the second you jump into this channel. Was the Star Child. Fantastic beat. Mr. Titus asks, Are you excited or interested in the Pimax 8K for its increased resolution? I 100% am. I was talking to someone in AltSpace the other day, and they were saying their FOV, when actually compared in game, is significantly increased. And truly, I'm looking forward to that. I noticed once I'm in VR for a very long amount of time, obviously the VR kind of fades. The FOV kind of fades away. You know, your brain doesn't notice it after a few hours in VR, but I think having that increased resolution, but also increased FOV, will almost subconsciously make the experience much better. Of course, all dependent on what game you're playing, but in short, yes, I am very much looking forward to maybe picking up a Pimax 8K. Folks, we got Jewelry Streets coming at you live from VRadio this morning. Hope you're having a great time wherever you are in the world. Arcterus asks, would you ever make a VR app or game? Indeed. I've made 2 VR interactive experiences. One was Please State Your Name in 2017. The other was La Camila in 2018. You can check them out on our website or on Steam. Yep, still getting the audio levels worked out here. Just recently got a new mixer here, which is a fantastic piece of equipment. It allows me to do the old radio voice much easier. What's going on, Nathy? Good to see you, brother. Spreedos, you're live on air. How are you, my friend?
Hello.
What's going on, dude?
Okay, so if you could choose, what superpower would you choose?
If I could choose a superpower.
Yeah.
Okay, let me think about this. This is an important topic. I would probably do Sandoff.
Sandoff.
Sandoff. So whenever one has sand on their body, whether you're going to the beach,
Okay.
you just say sand off, and all of the sand pops off of your body.
I would personally choose the ability to, what's it called? Being able to alter probability.
Alter probability?
Yeah.
That's a really good question. How does that work? Alter probability.
So, I would change something, and then it would do something else in my game, like with the lottery.
So basically changing fate within your world.
Basically.
Okay. But then I feel like life at that point would just be boring because anything you want would be
That's true.
available.
I'll probably use it sparingly then.
Yeah. You'd have to have some self-control with that. That'd be a good one. Well, good question, Spreedos. Always good chatting with you, man. Peace. Alter probability. That's a good answer. I like that one. Hey, folks, we got Underground playing for you here. What's going on, Mr. Marius? Backsorn VR asks, are you still having issues adjusting to non-VR life? Not at all. I think the after effects, especially sort of the eyesight effects, my brain was trying to catch up with the fluidity of real-life movement. That only lasted about 2 hours. I actually went driving to pick up my dog almost immediately after, about an hour after ending the stream. So I found myself adjusting back very, very quickly. No residual effects, other than perhaps that of the mind. Folks, you're listening to VRadio here on Monday morning or evening, depending on where you are. But hey, next up we got Monkey Island. Keep it chill. Keep it cool. Introduced to the world of VR? It was a quiet night in 2016. I was walking across sort of the proverbial sands of time and digital media space, and I come across a tweet from someone talking about an Oculus Story Studio. I click on the tweet and watch a video of many developers talking about this new reality called virtual reality and mixing that with none other than animated film. It was in that moment that I truly realized it is the future. I like to think we're all superheroes, R60, except the supervillains of the world. How cheap do you think the Oculus Go will be in the near future? Or what price do you think it should be? I think with the introduction of the Oculus Quest, the Oculus Go will indubitably jump down in price. I'm hoping it will jump down to like $99.99, you know, 100 USD. I think it's important that there's still sort of a device on the market that people that maybe don't have the ability to fork out $400 for a VR headset can still just jump in and be like, okay, I could spend $100 on this little entertainment device. So that's what I'm hoping. It'll drop down maybe half in price. Dingus, no, I'm not live right now. This is all pre-recorded. Classic Monkey Island. Folks, next up we got Super Silver Surfer. Don't forget, we're taking your calls live this morning here on VRadio. Let's hope there aren't any VR miners like the GPU miners. That's a very good. That's a very good point. It's interesting. Seeing that whole like GPU miner. I don't want to call it event thing that happened, a couple years ago, last year, whatever it was. It felt so like cyberpunk even. It felt like this weird reality that we found ourselves in. Like, okay, people in foreign countries are buying GPUs, computer chips, microscopic computer chips in bulk, and mining them in these huge operations to create Bitcoin, digital money, and create an economy, essentially. It's like, okay, it's like straight out of sci-fi, man. You can't write this stuff. Glad to hear it feels optimistic, Trek says. Glad to hear it. Thanks for joining Svet and Dingus. Glad to see you guys. Zippy, you're live on the air. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
How's life, Zip?
It's going okay.
Right on.
Just have a broken leg, but I'm getting used to it.
How'd you break your leg?
I was bike riding and I got hit by a car, but I'm healing. now,
Oh,
so-
dang. What's the story behind that? How'd you get hit by a car?
He decided to not stop going around a turn and he hit me.
Reckless drivers, man.
hmm
Is it healing up?
Yeah, I'll be back up and running in about 2 weeks.
Right on, right on. What are you doing in the meantime?
Sitting at my computer doing work.
I feel ya. I'm glad that we're living in a time where one can break their leg and continue life online.
Yeah.
Not completely checked out.
Now I'm just doing some paperwork because I work at an airport for a charter airline. So
Ah, very cool. Well, hey, man. Thanks for calling in. I hope your leg heals up.
thank you.
Peace.
See ya.
Ooh, broken legs. Let's put an F in chat for Zippy's broken leg. Hope it heals up. Folks, next up, we got Backblocks here on VRadio. Folks, I have to talk about something. Samurai Champloo. Why did no one tell me about this show? Okay, I just discovered it, like last week, and I am deep into it. Very deep into it. I've never been one for animes, I will tell you that right now. I tried watching them a couple years ago, I could never get into it. But watching that show, there's something about sort of the Eastern animation, their awareness of the left and the right, the red and the blue, the yin and the yang, that comes across, I think, in all anime, I don't know, but specifically in Samurai Champloo. I mean, it's fantastic. Not to mention, I mean, of course, the OG of Chill Hop, Nujabes. I mean, fantastic soundtrack there. I'm sure all my anime fans are like, yeah, Jack, you're like 20 years late on the whole Samurai Champloo train. But hey, I think I would like sci-fi anime, Arcturus. I'll have to check out maybe Cowboy Bebop next. That's what I've heard. Backblocks. Dinkus asks, what is it about VR that makes you like it? Well, I'd say the first moment I sort of stepped inside virtual reality, it absolutely blew my mind being able to see the distance, seeing standing in a presence, standing in sort of the proverbial virtual reality, sort of seeing the vast landscapes that are available to anyone that puts on a headset was truly a work of art for me, and I really do hope to experience that once again, wherever one puts on a virtual reality headset. So in closing, I would say that what really appeals about virtual reality to me is sort of the idea of standing in one place, but being in another. The 1-to-1 scale was the thing that first hit me with VR. Ah, indeed, Lenny. It is, man. It's almost like your brain just can so much easier forget that it's playing a video game. You know, like when you get really immersed in like Red Dead Redemption 2. Whereas when you get really immersed in VR, I think that sort of process from your reality to the digital reality, sort of getting captured by a game, immersed in a game, comes so much easier when there's that 1-to-1 scale. Good point. That was old school vibes here on VR Radio Hour. Prashant Sharma says, discovered your channel yesterday. Well, thank you very much, Prashant. Thanks for checking it out. I'm glad you enjoyed the documentary. Dingus, yeah, man. It's really hard to explain without trying it, but yeah, let me know if you do get to try VR. It's going to change your life. Have you heard of our Lord and Savior virtual reality? Folks, next up we got the Youth Choir here on VR Radio. Zippy asks if I could visit anywhere in the world for vacation. Where would it be? Right off the bat, I'd have to say Australia. Something about the idea of being sort of in a continent that's smaller than the US, but also surrounded by water is interesting. Good eye, Mike. Yeah, I'd say perhaps the Google Cardboard is... I'd say it's a good headset if you understand that it's not what true VR is. Like, it's a good headset to kind of have some fun, you know, maybe put someone in a 360 YouTube video. But if you're really wanting to jump into VR, I'd say the Google Daydream is good if you have a Google Pixel. Even the Gear VR, man, like if you have a fast Samsung, it's still pretty good. But the Oculus Go is probably one of the best cheap lower end spectrum VR experiences that you can get. Biggie Smalls has entered the building. Good to see you, Biggie. Rest in peace. That was the youth choir. Vinny asks, would you say you have your own VR legs after your week in the headset? Indeed, I think I got my VR legs probably like 2 years ago. They're getting stronger with each VR use session. But by the end of the week in VR, I think my VR legs went from like a guy that skips legs day to like a bodybuilder. I feel much more comfortable in high-intensity VR experiences. So, moral of the story being, when you feel sick in virtual reality, stay in virtual reality, get over the sickness, and you will survive. We got Cold Hearted coming up next. Turtle Bias says, I'm thinking of making a VR yoga session in VR chat. If you do, I will join you. Turtle Bias, just post it in our Discord and we'll spread it around, brother. I'm sure we'll get a lot of trolls in VR chat, yoga, but that'd be fun. Lenny asks, is there actual games on the Oculus Go? Yeah, there's some good games in there. Also, subscribe to PewDiePie. Arcaterra says, I ate pickled ginger root when I got VR sickness, and it helped a lot. That is incredible. That sounds like a wives' tale. You gotta eat your pickled ginger root when you get VR sickness, eh? You gotta eat it up. I would not expect that to actually work, but I'm very surprised to hear it does. Folks, we got one last song for you here on VRadio. Colorful Storms. Oh, ginger ale. Okay. I'm gonna have to try that. Good suggestion, Arcturus. Does my VR rig include one of the things that allows me to walk in place? It does not. It does not include a VR treadmill. I wish it did. I'm sure once, hardware like that gets cheaper, then I will, of course, add one. But for now, I have to settle for the standard walking. Was Depeche Mode, my friend. New life. The headset with the eyes on it is called the Vive Focus. Basically, is one of the first sort of non-tethered, tetherless room scale VR headsets, which has inside-out tracking, which are what the two cameras through the eyes see. What's up, Electroana? Electroana, that's a good name. Flows off the tongue. But hey, folks, thank you very much for joining today's VR Radio. I will see you here at 9 a.m. EST tomorrow, every weekday, and we'll keep it real.